Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we are covering the financial knowledge and basically what we are doing the banking awareness part of it. Okay? And we have been discussing over the topic what we call as insolvency and bankruptcy board of India. Okay? Insolvency and the bankruptcy board of India. This is a topic we are discussing right now. Okay? And we have covered several aspects of this particular topic, like the introduction, the background, establishment, objectives, regulation, insolvency professionals, insolvency professional agencies, the information utilities, and now we are left with the advisory role, collaboration, CIRP, educational awareness, and the summary part. These are the topics we are left with. Okay, so now in this lecture we will start with the advisory role. Okay, so let's begin. All right, so now we have to talk about the advisory role. However, in the previous lecture we had started an overview of the advisory role. Okay, like we could say, we have seen the Insolvency and the Bankruptcy Board of India, in short the IBBI, has an important advisory role in addition to its regulatory function. Okay, we know that the IBBI having the regulatory functions, it means that it regulates the individuals who work as an IP. It regulates the individuals, you can say regulates the insolvency professional agencies, which is liable to recruit those individuals. Thereafter, we had seen the regulatory function over the information utilities. Okay, in addition to that, we had discussed that the IBBI also involved in providing the guidance and the recommendations to the Indian government on the matters which are related to the insolvency and the bankruptcy laws, and suggesting ways to enhance and strengthen the insolvency ecosystem in the country. Got it? So this is the thing which we had, you can say, started in the previous lecture. We had discussed it also. So now we will discuss the things which are ahead of this particular area. I hope that you have revised the previous lectures carefully before you have come for this lecture. As I have told you so many times, it is for your own benefit. Okay, so now let's start. In advisory role, the first thing which we can see here is the policy formulation and the implementation. Okay, what do we mean by it? Let's see. The IBBI plays a key role in shaping the policies and the regulations related to insolvency and the bankruptcy in India. It actively participates in the formulation of rules and guidelines for the insolvency solution, often in collaboration with the relevant government ministries and departments. Like in the previous lectures, I had also told you the thing which I am going to tell you right now, so that you can do a little bit revision here. Suppose if these are individuals, okay, these are individuals who are practicing something. Let's say you can say these all are the insolvency professionals. Okay, insolvency professional agency. Okay, thereafter information utilities, right? Suppose these all are these ones. Now they all are regulated by which agency? Insolvency and the you can say insolvency and bankruptcy board of India, right? It is an apex institution or you can say the regulatory authority which regulates all of them. Got it? Now, we had seen the regulation means that if someone of them is not as per the standards which has been set up, it means that they have violated the rules. Got it? But in the previous lecture, I had told you, in order to violate the rule, first you have to get the rules, right? If there are no rules and regulations or guidelines set up by the agency, or you can say by the authority, like, then how these individuals could be charged for not following the rules? On how we can say that these individuals are operating as per the book or rule by book? How you could say? So it means that first of all, there must be a proper policy. A proper policy is required which is to be followed. Once the policy will be formulated, second will be the implementation. Like after making the set of the rules and regulations, then we could ensure the proper implementation. The IBBI plays a key role in shaping the policies and regulations related to the insolvency and the bankruptcy in India. Actively participate in the formulation of the rules and guidelines for the insolvency resolution in collaboration with the relevant government ministries and departments, as we had seen in the lecture of the you can say information utilities also. The advisory role includes offering expert insights and the recommendations to ensure that the insolvency frameworks align with the changing needs of the economy and the legal landscape. Like you can say, suppose, for example, if we talk about 2016, okay, in which year the insolvency and you can say bankruptcy code was introduced. Okay, under which article the IBBI was set up? The article was section 188. You can say section, not article. Okay, under article 188 of this particular code, the IBBI was set up. All right, but if we talk about 2016 and if we talk about current scenario, so there are many changes in the economy, in the market, in the business world. Why? Because I have told you that at every point of time, or you can say even after every hour, the things are being changed. Okay, so if there is a you can say dynamism in the things, that how we could say that the IBC should be static and there must no changes in it. Is it possible? So the answer is no. Clear no. This is not possible. We have to make sure that the required changes should be made in the IBC. Okay, so that the things could be done in a proper manner. All right, so this is written down here also, like the advisory role includes offering expert insights and the recommendations. All right, so it is to be ensured that the insolvency framework must be aligned with the changing needs of the economy and the legal landscape, right? What the economy need now in comparison with what we had the need in the 2016. Got it? This is the main thing under the policy formulation and the implementation. All right. Thereafter we have the continuous improvement of the insolvency framework. The IBBI continually assesses the effectiveness and the efficiency of the insolvency and the bankruptcy framework in India, identifies areas that require improvement, modification, or enhancement to make the system more robust and responsive to economic and the legal challenges. Okay, like we have just read the paragraph, now it's a time to decode it. The IBBI continually, it means that it is a continuous, or you can say evergreen process. Okay, assesses the effectiveness and the efficiency of the insolvency and the bankruptcy framework in India. Identifies the areas required improvement, or you can say the modification, or you can say the enhancement. Okay, whether it is an economic area, it means whether it's a economy, business, finance, whatever, and whether it's a legal challenges, it means that civil laws, and civil rights. Got it? These all are must be protected. If these are not protected, it means that the things are done in the you can say unauthenticated manner. Okay, and this are main you can say target to be stopped. Okay, we have to prevent this kind of thing. So that's why the things are to be done in such kind of manner. The board suggests reforms and amendments to the relevant laws and regulations to address the shortcomings and adapt to evolving circumstances. Like you can say, suppose, for example, if we talk about 2016, that was the year when the IBC was launched. And in comparison of it, let's take an example of 2023, you can say 2023. If we look at this picture, what we will see? We will see that there is a difference for almost 7 years. There is a difference of 7 years. So in these 7 years, many things would be changed. Okay, whether in terms of the legal, in terms of the economic, okay, in terms of businesses, okay, employment, finance, okay, and many other things. That continuous you can say continuous improvement of the insolvency framework is to be ensured that all the changes which had been made but through the various sectors like the legal, economy, business, employment, finance must be included into the IBC time to time. Why? Because if it is not happening, it means that somewhat our IBC will become outdated. Okay, and remember I had told you all of these things are doing for only one thing, which is known as the ease of doing business. Okay, if anything happens to the ease of doing business, what will happen? The things will be disrupted. Okay, our main aim, which is this one, whatever we are doing for this one only. If after doing all of these things, we are not able to save this particular aim, so there is no worth behind doing any kind of things. Okay, so please remember this one. Thereafter, we had the capacity building and the skill development. As a part of its advisory role, the IBBI advises on the capacity building and the skill development programs for the insolvency professionals, insolvency professional agencies, and the other stakeholders involved in the insolvency process. Okay, why? Because suppose the IBBI is basically, you can say, the apex institution. Okay, it is the you can say topmost body in the field of insolvency and the bankruptcy if we talk about. Okay, and we had seen that if we go by the flow chart, suppose this is the person who is seeking to become an IP. Thereafter, we had seen there is a educational you can say institute to train the person in the field of insolvency. Thereafter, when the person becomes when the person will become the you can say educated person in the field of insolvency, the bankruptcy, then he will go to the IPA. Okay, thereafter the IPA will recommend him to the IBBI. Okay, and IBBI, after assessing the profile, experience, the education qualification of that particular person, will declare him as an IP. Okay, now he become the insolvency professional. Got it? So now you could see that there is a complete chain. Okay, there is a complete chain. So the first thing, the IBBI is to ensure that the IPA, which is directly dealing with the IP on behalf of the IBBI, must be capable enough that they could look after the IP in the effective and the efficient manner. Okay, because all of the reports the IBBI gets, generally they are getting it from the IPA. So if somewhat, I'm not saying that intentionally, but what I'm saying somewhat. Okay, if somewhat the IPA is not capable to look after the IP in the manner which is required, what will happen? The inefficient or the unauthenticated person will be appointed as an IP. Even his reports which will be received by the IBBI were not good. Okay, so that's why it is required that the whether it's an educational institute, whether it's an IPA, insolvency professional agencies, whether they are the insolvency professionals by themselves and the other stakeholders, it means that education field, banking, financial experts, legal experts, whatsoever, if they having their stakes in the field of what we called the field of insolvency and the bankruptcy, if there is any field, okay, which having relation with this particular field, then it will comes under the advisory role of the IBBI, because right now they having their stakes in the field of IBBI, and IBBI handles the insolvency and the bankruptcy field. Okay, so ultimately they will also make the guidelines and suggestions and recommendations for them. Recommendations may include the enhancing training and the education program, conducting the awareness campaigns, and promoting best practices to raise the competency and the professionalism of participants in the insolvency ecosystem. Okay, the competency here is shown. Most of you will think that if there will be a competition between the agencies, and if the agency means the IPA will try to attract more and more people towards it, or you can say the education institute will try to attract more and more people to it, it is not possible that the unprofessional person, or you can say incapable person, reach the IPA or the education institute or may be appointed as an IP. It is not possible. And if this is possible, then why we are ensuring the competency amongst them? So the main reason is there. The competency here is a sign of the positivity. Because if you look at this, what you will find, it is not promoting the admission practices, but it is promoting the best practices in the conduct. Like which agency, which IP, which education institute could discharge their liability much more better than the other ones, or you can say discharge their duty and the responsibility much more better than the other one. Okay, so this is here to signifies this term, not because we are promoting the admission competency and we are promoting the business competency. No, we are promoting the conduct competency and the professionalism of the participants who are participating into the insolvency and the ecosystem of the bankruptcy. Got it? Thereafter, if we move forward, we can see the research and the data analysis. The IBBI conducts a research and analysis to gain insights into the performance and efficiency of the insolvency and the bankruptcy process. Collects and analyzes data to identify trends, challenges, and areas for improvement. Like what I'm saying, just try to understand it. Let me make a diagram for you. Suppose if this is an IPA, okay. So if we talk about the field, legal field, financial field, banking field, okay. Thereafter, what we have? We have the employment field. We had the business field. Okay. So if we talk on thereafter, we have the economy. So if we look at these fields, which are the major fields, okay. Right now, the IPA has been provided a task to make sure the right recommendations and suggestions in these areas: legal, financial, banking, employment, business, and economic. Okay, so now put yourself in the shoes of the IPA. Suppose you are the IPA now, and if I'm ask you, please provide me the recommendations and the suggestions related with these fields. So from where you should start? That's the main question. You first will try to explore these fields. First step, explore these fields. Second will collect data. Okay. Third field is analyze the data. Fourth is draw actual picture. Okay. And thereafter you will be able to make sure these two prime tasks which have been provided to you. Okay. Without explore these fields, you will not get what is going on in this field. What is the current situation or the current trend of these fields? And when you explore the fields, you will get the data. It means that what happened in the legal area, what happened in the financial area, what happened in the banking area, what happened in the employment area, what happened to the businesses, what happened to the economy. All of these things, whatever is going on in them, you will get the data about it. Thereafter, once you receive the data, you will try to analyze the data, okay, to draw out the actual picture, like whether there is change. If change, then whether it is a minor change or it is a major change. Major, and this is the minor. Okay. And if there is no change, then there will be a no recommendations and the solutions in these areas. But it is the not possible condition, because as I have told you, the world is the dynamic. Okay, so does these areas also. All right. So if there is change, then whether this is a minor change and this is a major change, accordingly the recommendations and the suggestions will be made of. All right. So remember, that's how the IPA conducts a research and the analysis to gain the insights into the performance and the efficiency of the insolvency and the bankruptcy process. Collects and analyzes data, identify trends, challenges, and areas for improvement in the field of insolvency and the bankruptcy, as well as in the relevant field of that particular area. Got it? Thereafter, recommendations to the government may be based on the empirical research and data-driven insights, ensuring that policy changes are well informed. Why? Like I had told you, nothing could be recommended to the government that easily, because the government will formulate the policy on that particular input, so that it is to be ensured that the inputs which have been provided to the government must be authenticated, must be reliable. Okay, so for this, the first step which we had discussed is the step of exploration. Means the IBBI first explored the area. Second is the data collection. Third is the data analysis. Fourth is the draw actual picture. Fifth is the make conclusion and recommendations. Okay, so remember these areas. First, they will explore the area. Second, they will collect the data. They will analyze the data, draw the actual picture. As per the picture, they will make the conclusion and the suggestions to the government. Okay, so it is required that the recommendations which have been made to the government must be based on the empirical research and the data-driven insight. Without exploration, they will not be able to collect the right data, analyze the right data, draw the right picture, make conclusion and the recommendations which are well informed. If the first step is the incorrect one, or you can say unauthenticated, all the other steps will be the same. Okay. International best practices. Advisory role may involve studying and learning from international best practices in insolvency and the bankruptcy laws and procedures. The IBBI can provide recommendations to align Indian regulations with globally accepted standards. Okay. International comparisons and the benchmarking can help identify areas where India's insolvency framework can be strengthened or not, because when we talk about ease of doing business, for which we do all kind of things, basically we are competing on the world stage. Okay, so it is necessary that we should compare ourselves with the international markets so that we could draw a picture that whether we are in the certain condition or not. Public awareness and education. IBBI may advise on strategies to enhance public awareness and education regarding insolvency and the bankruptcy. Includes educating stakeholders such as the creditors, debtors, and the general public about their rights and responsibilities in the insolvency process. Okay. Promoting awareness can lead more effective and the informed participation in insolvency proceedings. Actually, we will see about it in the educational awareness program. Till then, just read out whatever written is here. Okay. Advocacy for legislative changes. IBBI has a responsibility to advocate for legislative changes whenever necessary. Depends upon the current situation of the country, economy, legal field, or whatever you can say. It can recommend amendments to insolvency and the bankruptcy laws to address emerging challenges, simplify procedures, and enhance the overall effectiveness of the framework. Dialogue and the consultation part. The IBBI or the board engages in a dialogue and the consultation processes with various stakeholders like the government bodies, industry associations, and legal experts and the academics. These help in gaining a holistic understanding of the challenges and opportunities in the insolvency and the bankruptcy landscape. These advisory role may involve convening discussions and forums to facilitate operations and the cooperations and the exchange of the ideas among the stakeholders, because all are these fields are the interconnected ones. Okay, so students, basically in this lecture we had finished the advisory role. In the next lecture we will finish the other topics also. So basically till then just revise all the facts and figures we have discussed in this lecture and be ready for the another lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture, and what we say thank you.